Here we are. We're back.
Once again
at the 9 Club. Today, we got Jereme Rogers sitting over there. Yeah. The crowd goes wild, huh? Is that right? Alongside Jereme, we got Raj. And over there in the corner, we got Kelly. Okay, so listen, man. Boston.
Yes.
Born and raised.
Born.
Were you born in Boston, or were you you're from Bellingham, right?
Yeah, I was born at Boston Medical Center. Yeah. Started there, and then my parents moved outside, separated, and stuff.
Okay.
American theme.
Okay. And Raj, you used to film with Raj back in the day.
We'd spend some days with Raj back in the day, filming, skateboarding.
Do you remember the day where you frontside flipped that gap that's like, there's that school with the rail? And I ended up throwing my camera because my camera fucked up.
Yeah, it was a backside flip. And you were filming on like 13 millimeter film or something, or 16, whatever that shit is, right?
No, it was like a TRV 900.
Somebody was filming on like an old. I thought you filmed on an old. Well, maybe I don't remember.
What's a TRV 2000? What is it?
It was just like a Sony camera back in the day.
You threw it?
Yeah, like you landed your trick, and we went to review the footage, and the camera just like ate the tape and get all fucked up, and I was so pissed off I just threw my camera.
You should have known I was going to do it quick, Roger.
Right?
Was he like you were even mad, Jereme? You probably did it like hella fast.
He did, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably was like, oh shit, whatever.
It was like under 3 tries.
You land your tricks pretty quick. You know?
It took my time. Just not there.
Did you skate with PJ Ladd out there and stuff? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. In a certain circle, PJ, Eli, Ryan Gallant.
Did you get sponsored out there, or like what? How did you dive into the skate world?
Well, you wrote for Chapman, right?
Yeah, that I did with the old style VHS. Send in your sponsor me tape.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah.
That was effective.
that worked. That worked. Yeah.
How many people did you send your tape to until Chapman hit you up?
I think I kept sending him because he was like local or something, and I kept sending, and they would get better, and he was like chipped off that, you know.
Okay.
But then I did DVS was doing a tour. Jerome was on it and stuff, and they did like 3 demos in Boston, like different areas, in a row.
Okay.
And I like was at each one. Third one was kind of like by default. I stayed at Eli's house and just wound up there. Mm-hmm. First one I definitely tried to go to, but just being a skate rat and wanting to skate with them, I skated during the thing. I was like local, like
you're the hometown hero.
Yeah,
in the
kind
demo,
of annoying kid, which I fucking am like, get the fuck out of here.
But it worked. You got noticed.
But it worked. It did. Dill sat me down. Actually, I did some things. I did, and I like kicked the front nose at this rail.
Okay.
First or second try, and he's like, "All right, sit down."
You kicked you out of the demo.
Yeah, he kicked me out of the demo.
You're making these guys look bad.
Yeah, but then by the second or third one I was out, they were like, "All right, what's this kid's fucking deal?"
Right. But then Jerome kind of took you under his wing, right? Is that didn't Jerome he spotted you and he was like, "We got to get this kid on the program."
It was the next one or that one. I might have went on the rest of that DVS tour, or the next one they did. I kind of went on like a trial thing.
Okay.
And then and then I went with Jerome Barrow. Different people were talking to me about their other brands, Habitat or Alien.
Come right for us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you were getting courted by a bunch of different...
Yeah.
Okay. That's good, though, man.
Yeah.
But then you ultimately ended up on Girl. Or did you have a sponsor before that?
Chapman. But they
Chapman, right.
I mean, they gave me candy money. I was making $350 a month.
Hey, man, that's
14-year-old
fucking
kid.
good.
So cool.
Yeah.
Little kid,
Back then, too.
Back then, yeah.
Pretty good.
Count that as inflation, and you're up to like $600. You know, modern day.
It's more than I make.
Well, Roger's been fully unemployed this entire every episode.
I've gone almost 8 months.
It's good for you, man. It's hard to do that. It's like headlights on a car. You see 20 feet.
Yep.
But you can get across country.
Totally.
You can do it, Roger. Keep up the good work. keep up the note work.
Keep up the note work.
Okay, so then from Chapman, you quit Chapman, and did you get on Girl? Like, how did you get on Girl though? You Jerome hooked that up, or did you?
Jerome set up the original, but then as it was moving forward, and I was like skating with them and whatever, I was like doing an interview for Skateboarder, I think with Ben Colin at the time.
Oh yeah.
And I was like sitting in the car with Carol, and he was like over there, you know, about where the end of my finger is, because that's as far as you can be in the car.
Yeah, right.
And and I'm like doing the interview, and they asked me my sponsors, and I like listing them off, and then I like kind of looked over at him, and he gave me like,
right.
yeah, and I was like, Girl.
Well, that's good. He gave you the nod.
Yeah.
He could have been like, Nah.
Were you ever like nervous in front of those guys? Like, you know, when you started skating with like Carol and all those dudes, or is it something you kind of just grew into pretty fast?
Yeah, for some reason, not really, but they were like, Costin was my favorite, Stevie was my favorite.
Yeah.
So it was kind of magical, but it didn't really ruffle my feathers.
Yeah.
You're one of the few, man, because those dudes are, you know, they're iconic, man. And you get around those guys and you can be pretty,
Kelly still gets nervous when he's around Carol and Rick.
Right.
I literally still do.
It becomes,
Because I don't know them like you guys do, you know? It's
Right.
always like, hey.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, that's like, then it's it.
They're pretty, you know, off-putting in certain ways. I could see that.
Because I feel like when you got on Girl, like you were just, I mean, I kind of like, like all of a sudden you're in the van. You know what I mean? Like it was like really quick.
Well,
like,
I didn't take up
just,
a lot of space.
Well, this is true. This is true. I think
small,
I discovered you under a blanket or something. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? No, but you know what I mean though? Like it was just kind of like an overnight thing. Like all of a sudden, like you're in the van, and I mean that's just how I remember it.
That happened at G-Eazy's house the other day. I slept there after a party and I was underneath the blanket, like literally, like you said. He said, "Who fell out on the couch?" So I'm like, I'm gonna hit out.
Well, that was the first time you just saw him in the van, Chris?
I mean, kind of. That's just the way I remember it.
It just happened fast.
I just kind of remember, like, you know, oh, Jereme Rogers, and then he's in the van, and he's just.
Were you jealous? Were you scared?
He's on Girl, man. He has nothing to do with me.
No, I'm
you know.
Yeah.
But the one thing that sticks out in my mind is, you know, there's a big picture of you at Girl still. I think sacking the rail on the playground.
That's why I'm big there now.
Is it? And is that how you do it? I need to try that.
No,
because I'm. Oh no. Okay,
know.
maybe just for a short amount of time.
Chris, go try it, dude. Just see what happens.
It's fucking scary, dude. How was it skating for Girl, man? Was that like one of your dream sponsors at the time, or like how'd you feel when you got on? Were you just like, this is fucking rad? Jeremy, are you listening to me? Are you listening to anything I'm saying?
Yeah, it's my dream. Yeah, of
Right.
course.
Okay.
Yeah, start getting on fucking whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know, whatever else you could want.
Right.
Ivy
right.
League, going to Harvard or something. I compared it to the other day.
Oh,
you know?
really?
Someone else was asking about it or telling the story somewhere, and I was like, and they said, compare it like that, and I was like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, maybe a kid going to Harvard or something.
Yeah.
You get to go to.
It's like your dream.
But honestly,
Right?
a lot less people, but maybe equal in the sense of how many people want to go to school,
Mm-hmm.
to how many people want a professional skateboard, to the amount that actually get on Girl and get in Harvard. In some weird way, that might equal out.
No, I hear what you're saying. Not a lot of people, make it through Harvard.
Yeah.
You know, they don't get the diploma.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I'm just trying to
it's
make.
like turning
I'm trying
pro.
to. Right. Yeah.
If you get on Girl and Chocolate, you're basically pro.
No.
But no.
You
but
gotta
know what
work
I mean?
for it.
No, you gotta work for
It
it. But
does
like
not
you're
that.
set up right. Like when you get on Girl Chocolate, like you're hooked up pretty good.
But they've definitely had eternal M's.
The only one that didn't was Robbie.
Well, he kind of got out of the game prematurely, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I think he should have just stuck with it. You know, Robbie
Yeah.
McKinley.
Kept his foot down a little longer. Just he didn't want to do it anymore, but just kept his foot to the pedal just to eat the tomato.
Just see what happens. But I also think like when you at that point in time, and maybe this day too, like as soon as you get on Girl or Chocolate, like you were. I don't want to use the word famous, but you're already
some level of pro status and some level of certain affinity from the,
right. You're up on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Maybe,
You were a
know?
super am for a little bit.
Yeah.
Super am. Is that
you
what
was a
it
super
is?
am.
You were
Right,
for
right.
sure.
Yeah.
But you weren't am for that long, right? You turned pro pretty.
I stayed longer than average. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you do? Did you have a video part that kind of
I
solidified
had
that,
a
or
couple. I mean, I had
you had the DVS?
But
I
they
had
did like a Harsh Hero Barge trip.
Harsh Hero Barge, skate
Yeah, but
more.
those are-
Yeah, right. I'm
Okay,
still am at
yeah.
that time.
Oh, really?
Fucking
Oh.
PJ Ladd, all that.
Right.
He put in some work.
Skate
Yeah.
more is probably my first.
But you know what though? I like that. I like that
Yeah.
people put in work. You know what I mean? Like some people.
Well, you need to create a man for your board.
Yeah, but I mean, like some people may not even have like a full video part, and they turn pro.
But if
you
shops
know?
aren't calling for your product, then
one reason why they would make the product regardless of shops calling is because it's cheaper for them to sell the product with your name on it than it is to just pay them for your name.
What do you mean?
Well, if I'm just paying you as an amateur skateboarder and I'm paying you, say, $500 a month,
Right.
you're just an expense.
Right.
But if you're selling a board, even if it's minimal selling, at least I'm turning back this profit on this thing, this product. I'm not just investing in you from a marketing standpoint. You're still the marketing standpoint, but you're helping me recoup on my investment.
No,
so
it makes sense.
These days it's more expensive for them to even pay and have amps.
Right.
Yeah. That's why people's flowgrams are out of control.
I never heard that term.
So then when did you turn pro?
Like
After Yeah Right?
Like 20, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's a little bit after Yeah Right. I mean, Yeah Right, I'm like 17.
Yeah.
That's so crazy to think about.
I know.
But maybe came when I'm 18, so yeah, like 20.
Would you say that's a appropriate time to turn pro? I mean, in your opinion, though? Because some kids turn pro earlier, later. I mean, I guess it's individuality,
circumstantial,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's definitely kids that turn pro that it's like, I respect if they have a certain repertoire to people or certain appeal to people that supersedes their kickflip.
Right.
Which isn't enough.
Like their image,
yeah,
or like
just their
their likability, maybe, or their
like. There's an artist that's maybe not better than so and so, but people draw to them more. And at the end of the day, if it is a business and people are going to spend money on it, they're going to spend money where they're going to get most numbers.
My boards just,
they've been flying off the shelf.
Off the shelf. Yeah. It's
ever since we started doing the show, you can't keep them in stock.
That's not the only reason, man. I've been selling boards for fucking decades.
How come you don't have any like 9 Club type of graphics?
Oh, maybe they'll be coming soon. I think we got a couple in the works.
Tease right now?
Let me take a sip of my LaCroix. Did you have any other video parts after you turned pro? Was that
he was in Time to Shine with you.
Time to Shine.
That's right.
Skate more. I'm pro at Skate More time. Okay. Because I got to shoot.
He had his own video project too.
Oh, you had your own video project, right?
Yes. There's Jereme Rogers Neighborhood.
That's a great name, though.
Yeah, we had to because we couldn't do Mr. Rogers, which we wanted to do.
Oh, are you serious? Legally?
Yeah, we tried.
I mean, that show was on like 20 years ago.
We were doing it through 4-in-1, who was legit at the time, Washington, and they did everything. Like, we had to buy the rights. Like, I paid like $5,000 for this Aretha Franklin song and shit.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
So was anybody else in that video? I feel like there were. Right?
I gave Tori Pudwell's first part.
Okay.
Was it his first part, or was he in Shorty's
part.
one?
He might have had some footage. That was his first fucking real part.
Okay.
Daryl Angel, Eli Reed.
Okay.
Hart, Lamar Hemmings, Justin Schulte.
And so did all that come out of your own pocket then to make that video? Or because you said you just had to pay $5,000 for the song? Is it
no, kind of the opposite. I got paid $50,000 up front for the deal that we did.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, no, you didn't.
From 411
100%, yeah.
From 411.
Yeah.
They gave you $50,000
up front.
And that's why they went out of business, probably.
It was around the same time.
You put them out?
I don't know about any of that. It was the time that they went out. I mean, it was a fun investment because we did meet our sales or whatever.
So they made their money back.
But we didn't get like, we were supposed to get royalty after and stuff, and we didn't get that because they went out of business.
Eric did a video with them and got screwed.
We did Via Marina. Oh, Via Marina, right. They gave me $30,000. They gave you $30,000.
See? That's not outrageous.
Where was I?
I don't know.
This is news to me. I should have been incommunicado with them.
It definitely wasn't common. Like, people weren't doing that. They were giving their parts to whatever.
Right.
And we just had the stuff, and we had more enough footage, and we set it up, and I don't know.
But that's when DVDs and VHS tapes were flying off the shelf,
Yeah,
you
totally.
know? And it's like, they could make $50,000. I mean, they probably made $100,000, right? So when you got the money, I mean, how old were you in it? Like 18, 19, 20?
Like that.
Okay, so did you budget the money out? Or were you just going ham with it? Were you just like, oh yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that? I mean, did you know, like, hey, I want X amount for myself, or I want to put this towards music? I mean, were you like...
Budget is a new word to me.
Okay. But you know what I mean, though? Were you like trying to really like, no? You were just kind of going whatever happens?
Just wherever.
But you ended up with how much in your pocket? Did you try to walk away with anybody?
I do very honest business, and sometimes it's sometimes faulty to myself because whatever.
Right.
But a person that was making it with this guy, Rockberry, who's like a producer. He did like fucking Tiger's original shit that he came out with. Coconut Lime. He did this song in Terry Kennedy's part in a Baker video, and he was like a tech video guy too. And we did the video together. He edited the whole thing and did a lot of work. And
perfect.
And I like just agreed, like often when I go into like if we were creating a company, us four in this room,
right?
Just food for thought in case we ever are.
Hey, I'm always open.
I'm
always open for
I do like I prefer everyone is equal split, 25,
Okay.
25,
I mean,
25, so that
yeah.
everyone's equally passionate and whatever.
Exactly.
So
Right.
him, I was like, whatever, I'll give him half. It didn't matter. It
Okay.
wasn't about the money at the
Yeah.
time. And then I like, when we got the check for 50, I cut him 25 grand.
Wow.
And then started inquiring these fees that I didn't realize. Oh, I got to pay for the song. Oh, Dario wants 8 grand. You know?
Oh, wow. Okay. Right.
I don't know. It wasn't. I gave I irresponsibly cashed out.
after the
I
fact.
should have split it. Even if we were going to split it, we should have split it after
the fact.
fees
Yeah.
were paid.
Exactly.
But I already gave it. I'm not gonna ask him. He had a family and kids at the time, and I was already making more than I needed.
Ask for money back. You know
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
the check's cashed.
Well, that's what the government does with us. That's not important, but they take your money and then you ask for it back, and you feel good when they give you a little bit back.
Just a little bit, right? Yeah, I got $800 back. Right on, but I gave you fucking X amount. But well, that's cool. I like your I like that you go into a business, equal.
Yeah.
Because it's true though. If it was like, if you had a larger percentage and then Raj and then me and then Kelly had a little measly 5%, well, he wouldn't be that excited about working on it.
And later on, if the company gets big, it creates ego issues and certain things, and he might present a certain worth and that he might hold back and not do something because of that. And,
totally.
And then if you're hiring someone, fine, you're paying them out like Steve Jobs would pay people out. If you're hiring them, fine. But if you're creating the business, if you are not equally worth whatever we're creating in your own way, why are we even doing that? Why are we even,
totally. Yeah. I mean,
you're worth 5%. You're right. We're doing this together. We should have equal worth.
I love it. Yeah.
And it incentivizes them to put their passion in.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Everyone's gonna pull their own weight.
You know what? I like that because I'm not a greedy person either.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm doing something, I want it to work.
Mostly.
And so like, money's like the byproduct of like doing something that you love or you're passionate about or whatever. So
Chris, I want 60% of Nightclub.
how much?
I don't know.
16? 60?
I think he said 60.
Did you say 60?
I think he said 60.
Gosh, we're talking about all this good stuff, and then you bring up the big bombshell here on the show.
Happens.
Yeah.
I guess I get 5%. Is this kind of what you guys were saying?
We said 2 or 3, maybe.
Maybe 3.5 if
It
you're
looks
lucky.
like about 4 over there, but that red cup puts you to 4.5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this button with me, dude. You guys better
Does that
chill
button
out.
work?
Yeah, I have to press this, or I cannot. You can't hear me.
But that's rad, though. Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rogers' neighbor. No, what was
Jeremy
it called?
Rogers'
Jeremy
neighborhood.
Jeremy Rogers' neighborhood. Okay, wow, that's cool, and it did good.
It did good.
Yeah, nice. So did that build a little hype for you? And
It's definitely one of my best parts.
Were
Nice.
you bummed you didn't have a part in that?
I would have definitely asked for at least 10%. That's just how I roll.
These fucking kids too. I don't think they are now, but they were like bitchy afterwards too. Like they heard I got that money, and like they like had little animosity and stuff.
Really?
Like, indifferent. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
Right,
When they gave me that money, that deal was based off my goddamn name on the cover that's selling it, and you guys are all on right now. Go have a career or don't.
But it's like you go to work for like Apple or
what
Steve
it is,
Jobs,
yeah.
and like all of a sudden, like
they
what?
did a merger for fucking $1 billion, and you're fucking pissed. 'Cause
Yeah, and you're working on building a new program, and you want like equity in the company. Like, come on.
They wanted to do the purchase, they didn't have to.
Right.
Fuck you guys for that one moment.
So did that fuck you up though, or did that make you pissed, or did that just make you realize like, hey man, like people are just I mean, did you give the skaters anything?
No. Do they give you anything for a part in another
No.
company? No.
But you know what? It should
they
be.
blew up. Like Tori blew
Yeah.
up.
All of them did for one moment. They all blew up and were like good and could
Yeah.
have had careers, and they just different people fizzled or whatever.
Okay.
But all of them had equal like wiggle room as Tori.
It's all about the opportunity, right?
And Eli still exists.
That's right.
So the other ones still exist. I don't know.
Okay, so we're gonna do Mr. Jeremy Rogers Neighborhood Part 2. Who should I pitch it to? Should we pitch it to somebody? Because we're all equal partners here. So who should we bring this to? This is I'm serious.
Hit a Ty Evans.
Okay. We'll go do a brain farm. We'll hit a brain farm.
No, we'll go to Ghost.
Oh, we'll go to Ghost Digital. Yeah.
Ghost?
Yeah, Ty Evans company.
Just tell me what money.
Jeremy will negotiate for us.
That's gonna work.
What? Come on, bro.
Ty told me an amazing story one time that you guys were at La Quinata,
Sounds about right.
and
Now La Cañada is what the
It's what's it?
yeah, this
10 stair, 11 stair,
this
11
story
stair.
sucks.
and you're trying to like skate the stairs, and then some random dude popped out naked and tried to like molest you or some shit.
Let's do it a little more detail oriented.
What
happened that night?
Yeah, what is this? What is this story?
I'm like late night session filming with Ty, and I'm trying something very challenging at the time for general population.
Down a
Remember what it
fucking
was?
11
Down to 12.
stair.
12 stair.
Okay.
11 stair.
11 stair.
11.
Okay.
Thanks, Kelly.
Well, if we're getting detailed.
Yeah,
I wasn't counting at that
But who's
point.
counting?
I was just landing. But I'm trying this thing, and then I hear this this thing is a trick, but this thing behind me is a person. I hear this breathing.
Because the runway's dark, right?
The runway's dark. Ty's
Yeah.
at the bottom of the stairs at the time, like way far away. And you can hop up on these stairs. I'm like back here. I'm practicing on flat ground. I do my trick, whatever. And then I was breathing. I turn around, and this fucking dude
Oh my God.
is in a fucking trench coat, like full on. Like, why can't he just have a normal coat? He has to pick the sketch coat.
Right.
So he's in a round trench coat. Well, you couldn't trust him either when you see between the trench coat is not only an Italian chest full of hair, but a penis, at least 3/4 erect, fully wrapped in silicone.
Silicone.
Latex.
So he had.
Doesn't work out with a wrap part.
He's wearing a condom.
He's wearing condoms, so he's ready
Whoa.
for business. And he's fucking rubbing his fucking thing.
Really?
Rubbing his thing and staring at me and walking closer. And I'm like literally froze. I'm fucking like 17. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like stunned.
Like stunned, like froze, just moving towards me. I don't know what the fuck to do. One, I should be skating off and landing my half cab flip. But I'm like froze, and like, I don't know, enough time went by, like the fate of the gods were good or whatever, and Ty happened to like walk up at the time when this dude's closing in on me, and I'm just like, just fucking froze. I'm just fucking Snow White.
Oh my
And-
God.
No way.
Ty was probably like, what the fuck's going on up
Yeah,
there?
he's like,
you know?
yeah, what's going on? And he comes up and he sees the guy. What the fuck? What the fuck? And the dude, like, at first, the dude doesn't like back down. Like, he
Oh.
doesn't back down. Like,
Right.
he's like, I'll fuck both of you.
Really? Oh,
Dude.
not fuck you up,
So-
but fuck you. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's like, great, 2 for 1. That's all you got? I'm
Jesus.
fucking you both.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
That's
I
normal.
don't think Ty would allow that.
No.
He's a big
Well,
dude.
he didn't.
Right, he
and he
did.
didn't. The guy didn't, but didn't back down. And Ty's like, fuck. Ty's a little stunned too. And then he
Yeah.
just fucking comes at him, and the guy doesn't move. And then Ty fucking hit him with the skateboard, and the guy
Oh, wow.
tried to run,
Really?
and the guy's like trying to run away, and Ty clocked him a couple times with the skateboard and
Yeah.
like chased the guy out of there, and the guy's running. Stick is probably half soft now.
Okay,
at this
right,
point.
right. Yeah, he probably lost it. Yeah.
Probably lost his erect. And then he chases him to jumps over a bush and like over a fence and into bushes, and probably like seriously like a dude that lives in the fucking neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like,
fuck?
but almost like a creep that lives in the neighborhood and knows people go and light it up. Like, how do you even like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're driving by and you see us and that's it. That's
Right.
perfect prey. That's fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's trying to half cab flip.
Where's my trench coat at?
Who the fuck cares about that?
Like a deer jumped over the bush and
Boom,
just
went into his
been-
house, and that was the end of it. We didn't like make it.
So you didn't like call the cops or anything. I mean,
No, I think
you're
we just
lighting,
went about our
you're
way.
Ty-
trespassing on the
Ty,
school.
Ty
right?
said he
Like,
called
I
the
don't-
La Cañada school
Oh, yeah.
district, whatever, the next day. They didn't even want to hear what he had to say. They're like, why were you on our property at night?
Oh my
Oh,
god,
Jesus.
you fucking
You know, like-
cocksuckers.
Right. Like
Is
no,
it-
there was a naked guy in a trench coat with
No,
a
but
condom
why are
on.
you
It was
on
their
our
fucking
on your
principal.
property.
They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
probably.
well, it's our fucking school. What do you
Yeah.
expect? He fucking gets cozy.
Did you keep skating at all, or are you just like, no, I'm done?
I think that was the end of the night.
I'm going home now.
Yeah, I think we called it.
No half cab flip? Cab flip.
I don't think.
Did you ever go
No.
back and get it?
I don't know. Yeah,
I wouldn't go back to La Cañada at all.
Good thing Ty walked up the stairs.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
Was it just you
He
two
could-
and that was it?
Just dad and son.
Just skating
I,
stairs
dad,
by-
dad and son.
Dad, son, and
Yeah.
a sick uncle.
And Uncle Touchy. But you know what though? Hey, what better guy to be there with than Ty Evans?
Yeah,
you know
Ty
what I
would
mean?
whoop their
Like
ass.
Ty's ready for, he's ready to throw down.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Nothing's like that ever happened to me. Thank God. You, Raj?
You Raj?
Never had that weird experience.
At a club one time in New York. It was not too long ago. It was like a street league. And
Yeah.
I saw you at the club, and you're like, Kelly, what up, man? Like, grab whatever you want. You had like this whole table for you. You're like, grab whatever you want, dude. And then I grabbed some drinks. I was with a bunch of like all you guys, and then you left. I wake up the next morning to a video of you jumping off a roof onto and it's smashing your face,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
At Nick Diamond's house. So,
What were you?
Airbnb or
what,
whatever,
his
right?
little apartment over there. What are you doing, jumping off these fucking things?
I don't know. Nicky has this weird fucking thing. He gets turned and he
Yeah.
likes to like
Jump off shit.
jump off shit, and he does it. He did it at his house one time. He climbs on his thing and
I
jumps
remember,
down on his couch.
yeah, his old
and
house,
like I
right?
did it one time, and it worked. And then he was gonna jump off this thing this night at this diamond mansion we were staying at in New York, and it wasn't safe. Like there was this air mattress. It didn't have enough air. Like I could tell that when he jumped, it was like 2 stories.
Yeah.
That when you land on it, it would bounce you off.
I thought it was on a couch. Oh, that was an air mattress.
No, it's like an air mattress, and it didn't have enough air, and it was
okay.
gonna bounce you. And I knew that, and I knew that like if he did his normal, the way he would jump to his back or to his side, you could literally like. If you jump to your back, you could bounce like this
and launch
and
you.
like break your neck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Like the big things in the water that people jump on and it bounces the person up.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
It was gonna bounce you.
You should have played that game.
And he was gonna jump in, and I'm like, fine. I'm like, Nick, and then like, I was saving him, and in the process, I got abducted because someone had to. And Jeremy will do it, and I'm like, yeah.
And a little buzz, probably.
but
right.
And I done like 100 random stunts like that safely and whatever.
Yeah.
But you were like a gymnast at one time, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Like, really serious. Yeah. Like
Oh,
I used to
for
like
real?
double backflip in my floor routine.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You would do floor routines.
Floor routine like a double backflip.
Bullshit. How old were you when you were doing this? Was this like a young kid thing
Like
when you were like?
13,
Oh,
but
okay.
I can still backflip in this room right now, drunk.
Are you serious? You
Yeah.
could back. What else can you do? A tumble? I don't know. I don't know.
A tumble. Like I can stand still and just backflip.
What about can you do the pommel horse?
I used to be able,
Okay.
but it's been a while.
So you said, okay, Nick,
So,
I'll do it.
And then when I got up there and I went to jump, last minute decision was to do this front flip because I imagined like I used to do gymnastics and you could like flip on your upper part of your shoulders, and when you bounce, you like bounce on your feet. So I saw in my head, I'm gonna flip. It's gonna bounce me. I'm gonna land right on my feet.
Everybody's gonna cheer. Everybody's gonna cheer.
Kind of like when I got here.
Yeah, the crowd goes wild.
I over rotated a little bit. Also, my feet were on the wall, so I can't even plant them. And I like front flip off. I over rotate, and I just like caught my face on my knee so bad that it like it split my lip, and like and then I fell and knocked myself out. It was the first time I ever been knocked out.
Oh, so you actually got knocked
I
out?
was actually knocked out when when I came to, as they put it.
Yeah.
How long were you out for?
I mean, how do you know? You're not, you know.
Yeah. I mean, someone would tell you.
Yeah, it was
out for like 5 minutes.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, no, it was brief. It was just you're knocked out and it came.
You got jarred real quick.
But yeah, Nicky yells when I'm doing this. This fucking degenerate. He yells in the background. Whoa! Yes! If you watch the video back, which is my best video on Instagram, it's like 80,000 views.
Oh shit!
It's stupid.
And this is like while you're knocked out.
I'm in the middle of getting knocked out, and he's like, knocked out, and he's just
God.
victory.
Yeah. So nobody else did it after that.
No, I did it a few days later.
Oh, you did. You wanted to redeem yourself. Did you
Yeah.
land on your feet?
Yeah,
like you had planned?
I blew it up so it's tighter.
Yeah.
And then
okay.
I jumped to my feet, just kind of like collapsed instantly, like
kind of like going back and
that.
getting a skate trick that you didn't
I
land.
I don't know.
Right?
I just
Like,
came back and I had to.
Wow. How come you didn't post the land? I guess the fall's more.
The people kept.
People
There was
that.
like Jamie Foy, who's whatever. Just
Diamond,
different people
yeah.
that film it. And I don't know. If Snap Story didn't get it in time. I'm too busy doing it.
Well, you're letting everyone know that you did land.
You did land it.
Could be a liar.
If you're lying, man, we'll find out. Okay. Raj will do his research. He knows.
We'll
he
get
knows
Jamie
everything.
on. We'll talk about him.
Well, hey, just be careful, okay? Just be careful.
But
bro. I mean, all this stuff. You know.
Be too careful, and you can't be great. There's some words.
I know, but you know what? I worry about you, bro. Okay.
I know.
I want you to be all right, man.
Worries interest paid on things that haven't happened yet, said Grandma.
Did Grandma really say that, or was that just? Did you add that in for effect?
Somebody's grandma did.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you a question, bro. You were in skateboarding, involved with it. You know, you were a professional skateboarder.
You
were
killing
doing your
it.
thing. You were killing it.
Yeah.
And you decided to just quit everything, bro, and go in the music route. Like, what were you thinking when you were doing that? Like, why would you give up the skate thing? Listen, I know that people. I know that people get different interests and stuff when they get older, and you know what I mean. Like different things come around, and I'm interested in that. I'm interested in that. Maybe I start skating a little less, and you know it happens. People just do that shit. But you literally. Like, it was like overnight almost, right? Was it overnight or?
Yeah.
You quit everything. I remember I was like, what is he doing? But so like, what was going through your head? Like, why did you do that?
It wasn't like a slow progress. It was just kind of like
I want to go in this direction now.
It was slow in the sense of I started making music at 23.
Okay.
And it was 25 when I retired.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I had been doing it like behind the scenes, like hiding it, like secretly, like making it.
Why were you hiding it?
Because I knew that it was going to be, and that it was not going to be easy, and that it was going to be something that
you have to give
people weren't
100%
gonna
to.
be, and that people weren't going to be pleased with, and people
Okay.
want me to do this other thing. I knew that
Right.
somehow I knew it would create some problems, you know?
Okay.
So I was just doing it, crafting it, whatever. But when it came time to actually making the choice, I was like, I had like a certain epiphany like 2 weeks prior to actually doing it, you know?
What was epiphany? What were you,
I don't know.
were you just like, were you over the skate thing? Or did you say, hey, I'm just going to make this choice to move in this direction? Or like, why didn't you just do both? Or did you feel like, hey, I need to put all my eggs in one basket and focus on one thing?
Probably muddying up my canvas, but one, I was really high in mushrooms at the time.
Okay. Right.
We appreciate the honesty here.
Right. Right.
But I do think the universe puts certain things here that can help access certain, maybe say receptors or consciousness or whatever.
I got you.
And like training wheels for being still and present.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, I did have a certain understanding of like, okay, this shit means nothing. Like cars, money, whatever. All this stuff is like nothing. It's materials. I understand where it comes from and where whatever.
Right. Because you were getting paid good money at the time too. To give something like that up as well.
Yeah.
Right.
At least 50 grand a month.
I mean, were you really that much a month? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did 700 like 4 years in a row.
No
and paid 15
way.
on it in taxes, and that breaks down to like 66.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's a lot of money just to give up like that, you know?
So I guess two rationales in my thinking were one, it's still coming to light in my own self, but
Because that was like
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
It hasn't been easy.
Okay.
But I knew one was I knew for some reason something inside of me, I knew if I would jump out this window in faith that it would align me with some higher fate.
Okay.
Which it has.
Mm-hmm.
If even at very least just as a person, who I am as a person, I'm a different, happier, freer, more fun, better for people person,
Okay.
you know,
Gotcha.
for
Right.
humanity. I mean, at that point in time, I would like litter, be destructive, have no respect, fucking carry guns. And now I don't fucking litter, I don't kill insects, I don't like them.
Oh, wow.
But if I were to see one in my house, I'll catch it and walk it out. You know?
Really?
Certain level of like consciousness that this experience has provided me.
Right.
But I definitely didn't think I was just giving up all that. I thought like, I didn't think the universe would take me that far. I thought it would be a little simpler, you know, like I met with Def Jam and certain people like right after, and I thought people would understand my choice and like be a little more supportive.
Right.
That part I was naive about.
But like, who would be supportive? Like friends and family?
Well, I even thought
or,
arrogantly enough that I thought like fans would be like, okay, yeah, we love you, we appreciate, maybe it's true. You are saying if you can do this, you can do that, and we support you as a person. You know,
Right.
I realized it was so.
Well, you're like the first like pro skateboarder to be like, publicly like, all right, I'm throwing this all away. I'm gonna go try something brand new.
Yeah.
And love me, hate me. Like, this is what I'm gonna do.
Colin loved it, McKay, because when I was having a Plan B meeting with Danny Way and Colin McKay and like Bragg and a couple people might have been there, and they're like giving me this whole pitch. We're trying to have you be like the main guy right now. We have this like, just do this interview, this 17-page Thrasher interview, and this cover, and they have all this stuff like rolled out, and I'm like, 1 second.
Yeah.
Hold on, before I can waste too much breath.
Right.
I'm actually gonna do this.
Really?
Yeah, and they were like,
they just shocked?
Shocked. But Colin was the only one who got it early on. He was like, "You have fucking balls of steel."
Yeah.
Fucking, who could be mad at that? How can they not respect that?
Yeah.
He was naive as well.
Right. Because you were on Plan B at the time when they revamped their whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you get on Plan B in the beginning when they were putting together the whole team? Or
No,
did
I
you get
got
on
a little after.
little after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that like a PJ power move?
No, that was when me and Girl fell out.
Oh,
And then
okay.
I went there.
Again, you wanted to go in a different direction. Maybe,
No,
or-
not specifically. It might have been
Okay.
a bad feeling. We might have disagreed on certain things.
Okay.
That at this point in time, we're fine and doesn't matter. I've said it before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in the meeting with Danny and Colin, and you
and then
just dropped this news.
And I thought another thing I said, this: if I jump out this window in fate, it will align me with some higher fate. And then also I like knew my extremes of how far would I be willing to go. Would I like move back in with my mom on the East Coast? I owned my studio equipment at the time. Would I be willing to go that far?
You were thinking about
and
all
I was yes, and I was at peace with that. Yes, I would go that far. I'd fight my way out of the corner if I had to. I didn't expect it to take me that far, but it did. You know, I did actually go home. I spent like 25 to 27. I was mostly in Boston, New York. I'd come out here or whatever permitted itself, but spent a lot of downtime reading. Some days I'd read for 10 hours a day.
Wow,
and
really?
Stuff that I wouldn't have done out here, you know? Stuff that made me who I am today that seems not connected, but it really is. Like the situation with like girls and stuff, which is like CEO or people work their whole life to like achieve certain status to be able to have that. It's how I have that, or we have that right now, is based off something totally internal and has nothing to do with that stuff, you know? Right. And it's from that time that I give to myself that somehow crafted out a certain truth and inner peace that women are more receptive to, because they're more feeling based.
Right.
Men are more thought based.
Exactly.
You know?
Right. Okay.
So they just feel, okay, I feel safe. I can trust, you know, like no harm was going to be done, you know?
Exactly.
And I wouldn't have ever acquired that or acquired my understanding for how much $1 is and how much it is in all this stuff that I appreciate now, you know?
Right. Not killing insects and all that shit.
And that shit. And then, but just like if we just keep money on top of money, it's like what? Aston Martin to this, to that. I never have a conception of like struggle, this or that. Right now I understand like how I'm so grateful when I get a latte and I'm like, oh my God, it feels like I fucking won the lottery.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you said in your Creole coach.
I just talked about days where after that time, going from an Aston Martin to actually passing my Starbucks and be like, I can't get a latte right now.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
But you were okay with that.
I was okay with it because one, I made the choice, you know. So like, it wasn't like
But you probably went into it like, all right, I have this nest egg probably.
No, Roger.
No, when you decided to like, no, but like when you decided like, fuck it, I'm gonna like quit all my sponsors and go.
No, because I literally did it with 2 weeks, and I was not in the saving. I have no nest egg.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever was left coming in for a second, I spent through, but it cut off pretty quick. It was like pretty instantaneous. It's like void of contract.
Yeah.
Wow. But
it makes sense. You don't want to work here anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
Later.
What could they do though? The guy doesn't want to do anything. We're gonna keep paying him, you know? Yeah.
I'd rather be left as is, like as opposed to like falling off and whatever, you know.
Right. But you still love skating. You skate all the time.
I still skate.
Was there any time where you like regretted it, or was it? I mean, did you ever think about it? Like, oh God, what did I do? This is just like I should have just maybe I should have done both, or like what do you?
No,
because you were saying like you thought your fans would have a better
which I'm grateful they didn't, because it helped me to understand like negative and positive energy and free real estate, and I'm grateful if you feel any way about me, like it's just grateful you feel, because I don't feel a goddamn thing about you.
I'm sitting right here.
This is in general. Like people, you quit McDonald's tomorrow, good, I don't care, like, you know, I wish the best for you.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not gonna feel a way about the choices, so I understood certain things.
Why did he quit McDonald's?
He had dental.
He was the best burger flipper ever.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful they feel away, and passion taught me certain things, you know.
You wanted to do what you wanted to do. A lot of people are scared.
I hope as things unfold, it helps them to be less scared.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Because clearly, say music works out as ideally or more ideally than I would like. At that point in time, you cannot say anything about natural talent or any type of loophole, excuse, or any. I have no extra credits or nothing on my side at this point. It's fully self.
Yeah.
You know, manifested, if anything.
When you're doing your music, you know, and I'm not really a big hip hop guy, you know, or whatever. Hip hop,
I like to say music personally. I just want to make music.
Nowadays, when I see these like kids posting their Instagram clips and stuff, and they got their music on it, it sounds like your shit. It sounds like your vibe, you know, because when you were first doing your music, I never really kind of heard that type of, you know, whatever flow or I don't know. I'm not a music guy, you know.
How would you categorize your genre of music?
I don't really know, but definitely I understand what he's saying. Like, and I do my shit where this kid Post Malone did all his music. Okay. And my friends got into making music a while ago through me, who made his music.
Okay.
And like, There's definitely a certain vibe of Post, a Weekend, Travis, and certain people that's in there's certain frequencies and sonics and a certain vibe that.
But I almost felt like you were like a little ahead of your time on that. You know what I mean? Like you're doing your thing, and like now I'm hearing music that's like very similar to you and what you were doing, and still are. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, wow, that's pretty interesting.
That's
you know,
pretty cool that you say that.
It's happening right now.
I actually heard that today. My friend was saying that same thing.
Really?
Yeah. I love that. He's like, yeah, in the warehouse, like all the people that their kids listen to now, it's what Jereme was.
Yeah,
what Jereme was doing a little while ago.
You've noticed it, right? You've noticed the similarities.
Maybe,
right?
But also I'm constantly trying to make it better and better. So I'm like, you're here, I'm trying to make it whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. But was there ever a time when you're like, God, I was doing this shit like 5 years ago,
well,
now it's like become you know?
I definitely know, like, as it goes on, you could maybe like, from I've heard of painters and different things as artists, which skating is an art, you can become more and more like detached from your work. So like now I know more or less, I'm like, it doesn't really matter what you say to me or this person says to me. I know like what the standard is, just like a skater would know, you know, like it's not as easy on paper music, but like, you know, like, okay, this is that level of good, this is that level of good. And I know certain things that are out and people that are successful and have their own wave and the quality that I'm making. Right. And like, it's fine, doesn't need to be compared better or worse, but it's at least in a certain vicinity where like I can eat food off it at least.
So you're making money off your music right now?
I meant even metaphorically, like at this point, I wouldn't want to work. I'd rather be doing what I want to do.
Right.
And I'd rather, if I'm skating, because I want to be. Like, I don't want to just like sit there and put in the work to go like make an income. Like there's enough name left that I could go fucking sit there and go skate 5-6 hours a day, whatever, and like make some money at contests and make some money from sponsors, you know. Right. But it's a job. Like, and I'd rather make $100,000 a year from music than 10 mil from skating.
Okay.
But it's not any less love for skating. It's just love of like, I don't want to work, and that's not work for me at this point.
Okay.
And mainly because of the body too. The body fucking
takes its toll.
Well, you must have not thought like that when you first started skating. I mean, you skated because you love skating.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that transitioned into music.
I've had transfers of passion my whole life. Baseball, I did gymnastics, and it just, you know, when it goes, I just pretty much go with it.
Well, I think it's like, you know, any skater, you're like, whatever happened to that guy? And it's like, well, he found something else that he loved or is into, and he just, you know, stopped skating, or maybe he didn't stop skating.
It's
He
like
stopped being
Jason Lee.
in. Yeah, Jason Lee.
Jason Lee, like all of a sudden, like, oh, I'm an actor now.
Right.
And people are like, what?
Probably thought he was crazy, but he's the man.
He's the man.
Smartest choice he ever made in his life, probably.
But I mean, it happens all the time. Like, you can't stay forever in this industry, right? It's a
especially
very
not skating. I mean, it's fucking painful, you know.
Yeah.
That's
God,
right.
what is this fucking finger?
Fucking finger. Yeah.
That's from right.
What happened?
It's at the beginning before I racked my nuts, when I tried to kickflip no side this hub, and I like fell, and I got like internal bleeding in my groin, and I broke my finger all weird. And
it's tough, man.
It is. Yeah. It's tough,
especially
on the body,
when you're jumping. What you were doing, jumping down like stairs and rails, like.
Well, no, not only you were tech too. I mean, you still are tech. Though.
Yeah, but definitely now I would prefer to put me on a ledge. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Have you skated stairs at all since, like, lately at all, or?
The last thing probably that I did on stairs that was like anyway current or decent is switch trade to Barracks 11 or 12 or whatever that was.
Really?
That's
damn,
pretty impressive right there.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like third try.
What?
Really?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, man. This guy always did it hella fast.
Well, I did this. I did the same thing, but it was second try.
And it was down to 3 stairs.
You're talking about the 12. Oh, I thought you were talking about the 3.
And switch also, not regular.
Oh,
yeah.
No, but I think that's interesting. You know, like you were saying, like the window, jumping out the window. You know, I don't think a lot of people are willing to jump out the window.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people get content.
They want that parachute.
They want the parachute, right? They're content in the way that they're doing. You know, somebody will work a job for 50 years until they're ready to retire at 6 years old. But they, did they like it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. But it was a security thing. You know, they got paid. They get go in the office. They have they got a family and they, the white picket fence and the dog, and you know what I mean. Like they just get stuck in this the line. The cycle,
sure.
you know?
I know what you mean.
Right.
And it's really hard to certain things through my experience that I got to experience. It's really hard to even know that if you've even read about them or heard about them, certain maybe universal principles and things that they even exist or operate until you actually have to rely on them.
Right.
Like I said, he said something about being unemployed, and I said this headlights on a car thing. I got like headlights on a car seat 20 feet in front of you, but can get you across country.
Yep.
Yeah.
Through this process, I've been able to be present and not know how this dollar's going to come or this or the next thing.
But you make it.
And it comes, but it takes a certain level of like patience and faith and a certain not freaking outness, you know, that the normal person doesn't ever have to end up acting on, you know, because it's on paper and it's more structured and they don't have to do it. But I've been doing it for like 5 years now, so I know like, well, that works, you know.
I remember I had one story with Jeremy. It was, we skated at like 3 or 4 in the morning, Jeremy, and like me, you, and Dario, and we were skating some like over like a yellow rail, and you pulled up and you had a Lincoln Navigator at that point, and
white on white.
Yeah, and we were skating it. We left. It was like 4 in the morning, dude, and we're like, all right, we're going home. So me and Dario leave, and we pull up like on a bit, like it's a huge street on El Toro Road, and it's like 4 lanes each way and whatever, and we stop at a stop sign or stoplight, and all of a sudden we look over and Jeremy pulls up and comes in pretty hot, but
He used to joke crazy.
but he's fucking going backwards.
No way.
And he's backwards on El Toro Road. And
On
we're like,
the
what?
road.
Me and Dario are like, what the fuck?
Right.
And he looks at us and like doesn't he just looks at us and just goes backwards through the fucking green fucking light, dude.
What were you doing? Do you remember this?
There's 2 parts to that answer if I can.
Okay, please. Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Part 2, after 1. Part 2, Paul says somebody would like Kelly will tell a story like that, and they'll be telling to me and Paul, and he can realize I'm like, I don't know, like I'm not registering it. I don't remember.
Right.
He's like, this guy has so many crazy stories. Like a crazy story that you had with him for him was like a normal whatever, you know.
Yeah, for you.
Day in the life.
Right. Yeah.
Like this has just been too much craziness. It's like, okay, that was crazy for you. That was just so no, I don't really particularly remember that. And then part 1, the other day, someone like my friend backed out. I live in the Palisades in this place where it's like a narrow road and you turn around in the cul-de-sac, and he backed out of there. I was like, I've never seen that before. And then I was like, wait, oh yeah, I used to do that sometimes. I used to drive backwards, like, and I would remember just literally yesterday. I would just remember that. I was remember like not that one, but another time I like drove the whole neighborhood, and I'm like backwards, like treating it like normal. Like it's a like stop at the stop sign, just like this. Right turn. I go like this. I'm looking there every mouse. Left turn. Right.
I'd love to
drive backwards
see-
just through the neighborhood.
That's insane. I mean, a Lincoln Navigator, it's a big car. It's a big car. I mean, literally, like you're looking out the back window. It's like a bus. It's like fucking
Big ass
backup camera?
Yeah. Oh my
no backup
God.
camera at
No
the
backup
time.
camera?
I'd love to see the looks on people's faces.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Just
So-
like what the fuck.
And you pull up beside him like that too at a fucking stop sign or something. You're just
yeah.
and you
Like,
take off like this.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah.
It's amazing you never got fucking pulled over.
Is that illegal though?
No, I think.
Fuck yeah, it's
Roger,
illegal.
I'm pretty sure.
Is that illegal though?
Driving backwards is not legal on the fucking road.
Right.
He might be right. There probably isn't a code for it in the
Yeah.
book. Like
There's no code for switch.
I'm sure a cop wouldn't just like laugh, you know, and just go, that was funny. Just like, oh, let's go get some coffee.
Well, it'd probably be like reckless endangerment or something like that.
Yeah,
that's
there you
it.
go.
What happened to that car? Did you?
I have crashed and totaled every car I've
Are you
ever owned.
serious?
That car I crashed and totaled twice. I crashed and totaled once, and then with the insurance money, I got another one.
How did you crash it? Do you remember?
One time specifically, when I was driving backwards to San Diego.
Yeah.
Just driving down the 405 backwards.
Right. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I almost made it there. I was halfway.
In the carpool lane.
Yeah. No, but for real.
One
seriously.
time specifically, I used to live in this house with Paul. It was like it was a skate house, and we took over. It was like the house he grew up in, and like his
Chatsworth
parents
or something,
separated.
or-
He has
yeah.
like this famous dad, Paul Rodriguez, who has the same name. It is the same name.
Right.
Comedian, right.
Steamy
probably know.
tortillas,
Steamy
yeah.
tortillas.
Mhm.
That's minute to the story, but
Mm-hmm.
we're in this neighborhood in the valley, and I'm driving down like Balboa Major Road or something, and it has this kind of like when roads bow like this a little, you know?
Right.
So like if you let up the wheel, you're going to the right, you know?
Yeah.
And this girlfriend I had at the time, one of my first girlfriends,
Mm-hmm.
one of my first, you can only have one first, so my second girlfriend, I have a full makeout with her, like
while driving.
Okay,
Jesus
and not like
Christ.
just a kiss, like full makeout. Just
Yeah.
I feel so good, you know. and I'm just not watching the road, just fully while we're doing this, just drifting.
Right.
It's just drifting, and next thing we know, I'm just fucking, and we're up on the fucking sidewalk, and fucking run down a street light, a telephone pole, a fucking tree, knock down all 3 items, a full telephone pole, wooden telephone pole, knocked it down, street light, tree, knocked it all down, just started to make out.
Did you notice what you were doing all this when you were making out? Did you notice?
This point we looked forward, yeah, it was too late to do anything. It's just like, now it's happening. This is happening. And that one, and then like whatever, cops came, it's fine.
What did you say? Like, I was making out with my chick.
Well, I heard about a loophole.
Oh, what is it? Well, tell us.
Keep it quiet.
What is the loophole?
About like an animal running out. If an animal runs out and you try to dodge an animal, it's like some type of like loophole that is like operating by the human compassion, which is understandable that you acted instinctively and turned away, and it's not drunk driving or it's not whatever. So it was an animal that ran in front of me. Aside from the makeout, clearly there was a fucking deer.
A deer on Balboa. Yeah. So do you go in the studio a lot and make music? Like, where would you go to make music?
Do you
where
steal
would
all
you
your own equipment?
No, I live in this house where they did this kid Post Malone's music, who's like one of the popular artists right now.
Oh, okay.
I got those people into making music years ago, so it came full circle. I get to like stay there and record myself and work whenever I want.
Okay.
But whenever they're not, he's like doing records for Future and Thug and all these people right now. So like when he has a session, he has a session. But
so
when he
you got him into it? Is that what you said earlier?
Yeah,
like
years ago.
You kind of got him into it.
I got him into it. So I'm like apparently in his Grammy speech now. This is a dude who's working with like Rick Rubin and shit.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just kind of the universe again, full circle. You know?
When you go out at night, is it like weird for you? Is it, like let's say you're hungover and you can't skate? If you're like not there, like hungover, like is it hard for you to like kind of come up with something with music wise? I
enjoy it that way. I'll do it sober, but I also do it turnt. And then like I have different ways where I do it. Like sometimes it's like write something whole out. Maybe it's a verse or something, and then like record it. And then sometimes it's just like freestyle a bunch of stuff and like pull songs out of it. And it's a certain thing that like a lot of artists are doing right now, like more singers, they do it because rap is so like packed in, so it's hard to do that. But more singers, like it's like finding melodies and finding things, and you pull songs out of it. And more if I'm like turnt or drinking, then it's more like I like freestyle better because I don't want to sit there and think and be overthought. Just like let it go through. But it's not like we're skating. Yeah, if you're like turn on King of the Road, I was drinking beer the whole time because I was sore, and they put me onto that. They called it yoga juice.
Okay,
that's why I'm so flexible.
But it's mostly about being present and letting it like come through you. Like I don't know, Michael Jackson said one time that like when people come up and approach him about the songs that he wrote, he would always feel indifferent about it because he was like, I feel like it more came through me.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it just came out.
Like comes through you, like you're channeling it. You know, you're not so much I'm a genius. You know what I mean? You're accessing like some like something like your funnel to the universe. You know?
Right. Well, it's funny because I listened to these interviews with like gnarly musicians and stuff, and like some of their biggest hits.
They're turned.
Were written in like 3 minutes.
Or
like 5 minutes.
They're turned to Jim Morrison or whoever. They're turned. But skating doesn't really permit that. I mean, some people do it.
Some people
drunk, but like, it's just not. Well, it's just you're putting your body on the line. There,
of course,
it's like, fine, I was too drunk. Song didn't come out right.
Who
Big
cares?
Deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Right. Do you ever wake up and listen to something and be like, what the hell was I thinking? What the hell? What is this?
Just delete
it.
You know?
No, it's usually like, if anything, it's like I don't have a good like long-term vision in the sense of like some people, they want to make hits and they'll keep coming back to a painting or a song and keep layering it and working on it. I'm like, if I didn't finish it that night, I won't come back to it.
Oh, really?
Like vocally, it has to like come through me that night.
Okay.
So like worst case scenarios, I'm like turn to whatever and I like fall asleep in the middle of making it, or I can't finish it, and then I don't know, I never come back to it. It just goes into the lost archive of
interesting.
You just kind of like lose interest in it.
It's just I just can't. I don't know, like the tone, the moment is gone.
So what's in the what can we expect from you? I mean, do you want to? Are you like an album or a single? Like what do you do? Like what are we doing?
I don't know.
What are we doing?
I don't
What
have
are we
any,
doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
We're 50-50, right?
I'm 5% over here, bro.
Well, Kelly, this is a whole
25.
This is a whole different deal.
20.
This is a whole different deal. Okay, what are you gonna do? Are you working on something, or what's your plan? You know,
I don't have any like
no plan?
proper plan of attack or strategy.
Right.
Like keep making music and making it better and enjoying it and know it's go because it's better. And then like at very least right now, I've used Instagram as a tool. You know, I put out a little like
I see them.
make something. I'll put out a little 1 minute fucking Instagram video, and I continue to see like comments and things turning more and more where people are like, oh, that's dope, fire, and people like stuff.
Well, like I said, I think you were a little ahead of the game.
Yeah,
you know, I think because I hear shit now and I'm like, whoa, that sounds like fucking sounds like Jereme.
They didn't make it easy on me, but
well, I mean, like you basically took people on a journey. Like, hey, dude, I'm gonna start this new adventure, and like, come follow me and see what I'm like.
Well, I wanted
to fail and see me try to succeed.
Yeah, I want it to be that way so that when it does, there's plenty of like blatant failure so that someone else would jump out that window and faith. But as for like strategy and stuff, I don't know. Like I just keep trying, just make more, and I can't like sit on stuff for too long because it's the way that I'm like evolving and making it.
Okay,
keeps getting better to the point where it's like something I like now. It's like if I sit on it too long, then all of a sudden it becomes obsolete to me.
I mean, you could relate skating to it too.
Yeah, it's an old clip.
Right. Hopefully, yeah.
I mean, I TBT all the time. But, you know.
Yeah, but it's TBT.
It's out there.
You're saying TBT though. You're not saying new. You know what I mean? So
right. Well, no, I hide the TBT like maybe a couple lines down. You know? Maybe they don't, you know.
At this point, I think I'm getting a higher percentage of love than hate. But there was a point when I was getting, it was 90% hate.
Really?
So it's fucking... Yeah, I had a pretty heavy dose.
When you first decided to start doing
I think it was pretty abnormal.
Music.
Like, I hate to, again, use these random people, but I think, like, Chris Brown, Kanye, I think not a lot of people from their industry have experienced such a high dose of hate, you know? Right. I had, like, only a few people that were actually, like Paul or Colin. There was only a few people that actually were, like, somehow were able to like understand that I knew what I was doing.
Right.
It's like fucking go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? But you're talking about skaters, though, right? Who don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. In a sense.
Can't expect them to.
They're fans. They want to see you skate, and then all of a sudden you're like, later, and they like feel like you're just abandoning them.
And there's also the element of someone looking at you and whether it's a kid or a peer looking at you and being like, you fucking arrogant prick, you fucking... Did you not have enough? You're fucking Aston Martin, this and that.
Now you want
own homes. You did not have enough. That's not enough. You want this other thing. You know, it's like that. They're not looking at it as it's a passion based. Like, no, I just want to be doing what I want to do. It's just like you had what I want to have, and you throw it out the window to go do this thing. It doesn't even fucking matter. And and you're, you know.
Also because I think half these kids like they want what you have.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So they looking at it like you just pretty much shitted on what I want and I have. Fine, shit on you.
Right. Just do what you want to do, man.
Yeah.
Who cares about
I think people
but I think you're past that point. You don't give a fuck. You know?
But I think when people see you like enjoying what you're doing, I think that's all that matters. I think people initially, whatever you do, people want to see you enjoying and loving what you do
and succeeding in what you do.
And if you're just focused on it and going, I think people, like you said, you got a lot of hate at first, and now people are like,
it's turning for sure, but it's definitely also not where I would prefer it to be. You know, it's more or less not where I want it to be in the sense of just an artist, of being like, if you did something and you know that it's amazing skate trick and that's fucking really hard, you know, it's annoying where I'm like, I have a constant tear where I'm like, I do something and like the better song or some of the best songs that I have, I don't put out because I'm like, the fuck have I put this out for? What the fuck is 1,000 plays, 10,000 or whatever? It's like, it's wasted in the scheme of things. You know what I mean? If it's actually great, it's like, somehow I need to find a foothold for it to actually, you know, because if you're someone else and you're on, Wayne can put out his scraps and it's a treat, you know?
Like Wayne's been doing it since like 8 years old.
And I'm crossing a certain point. It's been some years where it's like, you know.
Yeah, you've like been doing it 5, 6 years?
It's like 7 now.
It is a different beast, you know.
That's what Travis Barker told me when I was retiring because I was on Famous at the time.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I went and sat down with my different people, told him I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And he was like, literally said that verbatim. He's like, it's a whole nother beast. It's a total another beast. And at the time I was like a little like, whatever, dude. Like, I don't care that you don't think that I could tackle another beast, but you can, you know what I mean?
Right.
But going into it later, I understood what another beast it was. And one thing I learned about it was that it's the most commonly shared dream. So that's why there's a lot of animosity around it too. People don't want their neighbor to be a music star. It's like a mythical thing. You want to think of Sting or somebody a certain way. So maybe to a skateboarder, maybe I'm like, not from you guys, but maybe from a kid, maybe there's a certain level of myth or whatever, or certain separation. But I'm also their neighbor. I'm a skateboarder.
Right.
So when it comes to this other thing, I'm their neighbor. And they're like, wait a second, I already know what you are. You can't do this.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
No, totally.
How long did it take you to get sponsored as a skateboarder? Like, when you started skateboarding to the time you got sponsored?
A lot quicker than this.
Like 3-4 years?
No, like I started at 13, and by 14, I was like making like a few $100 from Chapman.
Well, skating just came easy.
Yeah.
I did it 10 hours. I mean, I did literally 10 hours a day every day. You know?
Well, it was crazy too. The first big video you're in was like, that was the video out.
Yeah.
Like the PJ Ladd video. You got sponsored real quick, and then in the biggest video at the time.
And I didn't fully know at the time. I didn't have a full gauge. I was just getting on Girl, and I had a conversation with Carol and Howard on the van, and they were like talking about right, and I had all this footage for PJ's thing, and I was like loyal kid at the time. I'm like, they're like, oh, we need, basically asked me for the footage, all the footage I've been filming for this thing, and I was like, no, I don't, no, it's going to this. Like I had but no gauge of like what thing. I didn't have any gauge of what that was going to become, or also I didn't really have a gauge of like what I was telling them no to, you know?
Right.
But it didn't matter because I ended up turning around and being able to film enough stuff for that
Of course,
too, you know?
Right.
Like, I was shocked that this video went as big as it did.
I know.
Like, coming from Boston and knowing the Coliseum guys, like Matt and Artie or whatever, like, I had no idea this video it pretty much went viral.
Pretty much the legend of all skate shop videos,
It
right?
went VCR viral.
Like what other skate shop videos
like Sub-Zero, maybe. And it's FTC.
Oh, yeah. But that's one in a million.
And admittedly, PJ's part you could still reference, and it's still there's current.
I
there's
mean,
so much
it could come out today
in there that's
blow
current,
minds.
you know?
Right. I mean, when that video came out, I didn't know what Coliseum was.
I don't even know how these fuckers who had the shop had any idea. They seemed to know, like they had a plan, like they knew.
They didn't know that it was.
They seemed to know.
Though.
I mean, they did shit like this, like
they were pretty confident.
they wrote over 1 million copies sold on the cover, which wasn't true.
Oh, really?
It came out like that.
They didn't really? That's amazing, though.
There was like you, Gallant, and PJ, obviously, and Alexis.
Alexis still the best girl skater that's ever
for sure.
existed.
It's amazing. But it's like you guys 4 back then was like, it stood out a lot.
What about Southie?
Love you, Southie.
Is it the guy gave you a wedgies?
Yeah.
I gotta rewatch that video again.
I think that was the only video that I didn't get to really pick my song for.
That was a cool song, though.
I was like
What
given
song-
options.
what
Like
song
it
was
was like
it?
some weird Buena Vista, like some Spanish song.
Okay.
And I think I was like given options. Like you get this song, or you know, like
Right.
every other one I've actually picked. You know.
Gotcha.
So you picked the Jamiroquai song from
Those I picked. Jamiroquai,
Yeah. The Michael Jackson,
Michael Jackson, fucking
Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin. That's what I was trying to think of.
God, skate nerd
Thanks.
over here.
Good job, Raj. I mean, Kelly.
How rad is Kelly's laugh and Jeremy's laugh?
No, I picked that up a couple weeks ago after a long night. Sometimes after a long night.
Right.
And I'd wake up in the morning with like a new laugh, and I was like, "What? I want to hang on to that." And I forgot it for like a day or two. I had to get turned and taken off Molly to get it back.
Oh my
but
God.
I got it.
So I never wake up with a weird laugh.
I know. No,
know?
like that. It's literally a month old.
Okay.
Max.
Yeah. That's a contagious laugh.
I know.
It's a contagious
I've had
laugh.
girls to be like, it's like almost weird, like it's too high, but also they're like laugh with it.
How do you
It's
pick up a new laugh, though? Like,
come out with me tonight.
Yeah, you'll Okay. It is actually really funny.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard a laugh that's actually that funny. You know what? Put that on your next record, bro.
Yeah, seriously.
You know, will you put that on your next song
Just a laugh track.
at the end?
I'll do it right before my Christmas album and Chipmunks
Oh, there you
feature
go.
comes out.
All right, let's get out of here, bro. Hey, thanks for coming, dude. Be careful out there, okay? Like I said, man, I worry about you, bro. Don't go jumping off shit, okay?
I'm trying to do less jumping.
Stay grounded.
Even the whole way down, I was grounded.
Oh, okay.
Here. Bye, guys. Chase dreams, live free. Don't listen to yourself. If you're somebody who talks shit to me, you're an idiot. Don't talk shit to yourself, at least. Bye.
I remember telling him, I'm like, that I sent it in video to Girl. I don't know why I would tell him that, because he's giving me paddleboards.
Right.
Weirdest thing. Like, hey, I know you're hooking me up, but I'm trying to get on this other company. Now I'd be like, okay, I'm just gonna like not talk about that until something happens, you know. But
right.
I was just like all honest about it, and I remember him being like, hey, dude, you might want to chill on like trying to get on Girl, because they're like historical for just putting people on flow and never turning them am or pro.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, nah, I don't really care. I just really love Girl.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
It worked out.
How do you spell that? Veggie? V-E-G-I?
V-E-G-E.
V-G-E?
M-I-T-E.
M-I-T. Is it one word?
Yes.
Oh, is that it?
Bingo.
There you go.
It's not that inviting of a logo. Let me tell you.
What are you saying?
I don't know. It's just kind of. Oh, there's the one in the tube. Looks disgusting. I don't even know. There's a case of 12 for 73.
You don't need 12.
Well, maybe it's cheaper here. Do you want me to order it for you and you could take it back?
No.
Okay.